Welcome. Thank you for joining our presentation on the First-Time Home Buyer program. This webinar will cover the First-Time Home Buyer preferred pricing option for conventional financing. We'll discuss the advantages, borrower eligibility, make a comparison with the First-Time Home Buyer to the standard WHEDA Advantage, and provide some tools and resources. As part of WHEDA's mission, we provide financing options for low to moderate household borrowers through our lending partners. For the first-time home buyer preferred pricing, our source of funds are mortgage revenue bonds having specific requirements. Eligibility details can be found on the first-time home buyer section on the Lender's Toolkit found on WHEDA.com. Borrowers meeting guidelines as a first-time home buyer will have the option to choose among one of these options: FTHB Conventional with mortgage insurance, FTHB Conventional with no mortgage insurance, or the WHEDA Advantage Mortgage Credit Certificate Program. The Mortgage Credit Certificate Program may be used with our Standard Advantage Conventional, FHA Advantage, or with other non-WHEDA fixed-rate loans. It may not be combined with the First-Time Homebuyer Preferred Interest Rate Program. Using the first-time home buyer option has specific eligibility. To start with, we will define who meets these guidelines. There are specific income limits and purchase price limits based on county median income and average area purchase price. These limits may vary if the property is located within a federally designated target area, and the target areas are found on WHEDA.com in the first-time home buyer section of the toolkit. The definition of a first-time home buyer is a borrower who has not owned and occupied a home within the previous 3 years. All borrowers must meet this eligibility guideline. When working with a non-applicant spouse, both spouses must meet the eligibility requirement. Borrowers may not have an ownership interest in any residential real estate at the time of closing on the WHEDA Advantage conventional loan. For the first-time home buyer, there are two exceptions for borrowers meeting this requirement. The first would be a borrower who is a qualified veteran holding a DD-214 with an honorable discharge notation. The second would be borrowers purchasing within the federally designated target area. Borrowers that currently own their home or previously owned a home within the previous 3 years may meet the guideline as a first-time buyer. The borrower may own property that does not include residential real estate, such as vacant land. Borrowers that currently own manufactured home on leased land would be considered first-time home buyers. Borrowers that currently own a manufactured home placed on land they own would not be eligible as a first-time home buyer. As a reminder, in the WHEDA Advantage Conventional Program, a borrower may not have an interest in other residential real estate at the time they use their conventional loan. Income that is used for calculating the annual compliance income includes income from all adults that will be living in the home, regardless of relationship to the borrower. The lender should use the greater of last year's income shown on the tax returns or tax transcripts, or the borrower's year-to-date income shown on a previous 30 days paycheck stubs being projected forward 12 months. Please note, many times the compliance income may differ than the income used for qualifying debt-to-income ratios. First-time homebuyer income limits and purchase price limits are available on WHEDA.com. In providing guidance to calculate annual compliance income, all types of income and the consistency of income must be included. This would include bonus, overtime, commissions, etc. that must be used based on current income projected forward 12 months. Exclusions can be made for income received as one-time payments, such as an insurance settlement. For borrowers purchasing a 2-unit, you must add the rental income being used for credit qualifying. WHEDA provides 2 resources to assist lenders in calculating compliance income. First is a compliance income calculation worksheet, WHEDA Form 24, As a reminder, include all household members' income from all sources. Second is the Compliance Income Evaluation WHEDA Form 29. This form requires the lender to provide all household income to a WHEDA underwriter for review. Purchase price is based on the total acquisition cost, which may be the accepted sales price plus any improvements that will be paid by the borrower. This total must be below the purchase price limit for the county in which the property is located. Purchase price limits vary by county in which the property is located and whether it is in a federally designated target area. First-time homebuyer purchase price limits are available on WHEDA.com. Other compliance requirements are the borrower must be a U.S. citizen or legal resident of the United States. They must have a valid Social Security number, and if the borrower is required to pay child support, birthing expenses, or spousal maintenance, their name cannot appear on the Wisconsin statewide child support lien docket. The website is also found on our overlay grid and in our lender's guide. The borrower must own or occupy the subject property within 60 days of closing and continue to occupy based on the mortgage revenue bond requirements. The first-time homebuyer preferred pricing requires the borrower to meet underwriting standards of the conventional WHEDA Advantage program as either an MI or a no MI loan product. Select the HFA Preferred MI or HFA Preferred Risk Share as the community lending type in Desktop Underwriter using DU or DO. Borrowers must meet the definition of a first-time homebuyer, have a total household income that falls below the first-time homebuyer income limit, and must have an accepted purchase price contract that falls below the first-time homebuyer purchase price limit. Borrowers cannot own other residential real estate at the time of closing when using a WHEDA Advantage conventional loan. Qualified first-time homebuyer preferred pricing option borrowers are not eligible for the Tax Advantage Mortgage Credit Certificate program. Borrowers who do not meet the first-time homebuyer preferred interest rate eligibility requirements or who are non-first-time homebuyers may still qualify for the Standard Advantage conventional loan under the Standard Conventional or FHA Advantage income limits and loan limits. Tools and resources available on our website include Policy and Procedures Guide, the Advantage Conventional Matrix and Overlay Grids, the FHA Advantage Guide when using MCCs, the WHEDA Tax Advantage Guide, the Compliance Income Calculator, WHEDA Form 24, and the Income Compliance Evaluation, WHEDA Form 29. This concludes the on-demand training for the WHEDA First-Time Homebuyer program. Thank you for taking time to view this on-demand presentation. If you have questions, please contact us at 800-334-6873 or email underwriting@WHEDA.com.